everyone. I am Nathalia Jackson with Kids First, and today I am speaking with Mr. Joe Lorenzo, founder of 5.0 star rating Society Performers Academy, who actually started as an actor in New York City, but quickly realized that his passion was for casting and talent management. Today, we are talking about his launch of Hollywood's renowned Spin National Competition, where hundreds of America's most talented kids gather to perform and a chance to make their dreams come true. Welcome to Kids First, Joe. How are you?
Thank you for having me. I'm good. How are you?
That's to hear. I'm doing well myself. Thank you. Well, first and foremost, Joe, Society Performers is rated #1 in the nation. Congratulations. That's extremely huge. And you guys provide wonderful training and opportunities for actors, models, singers, and even dancers. Thinking back to when you were just a young actor in New York City, did you ever think this project would be such a huge success? Tell us about your process and how you got here.
Well, so when you said quick, that I quickly transitioned, it was very quick. I gave it about a year, and I don't suggest that to people. You really want to give it, obviously, some determination and really, work towards it. There's a famous reporter put a microphone in Amy Adams' face when she was on the red carpet for Junebug, and she said, "What does it feel like to be an overnight success?" And she said, "Well, if you count the last 11 and a half years of me auditioning in Los Angeles, an overnight success, it feels great." So it does take time, ladies and gentlemen, but it just wasn't for me. I had gone on some auditions and it just wasn't really clicking. And then my manager suggested, she's like, "You've got some time during your day. Why don't you come in and intern and learn the ropes and whatever?" And I quickly loved the business side of it. So I managed for 17 years quite successfully. I had clients on Disney, Nickelodeon, Freeform, CW, Pretty Little Liars, all this stuff. And in 2017, realized I wanted to transition into what's called the development side. That's where Society Performers Academy came from. My management company was called Society Entertainment, so it wasn't such a big delineation from the name. But and then we launched, I have studios, I have brick and mortar studios. And then in COVID, I was one of the first ones to pivot. I saw it coming. I didn't see it coming like before anybody else, but I just saw the way that the transition was going to happen. And I pivoted fairly early within the first week before we even really got shut down, right? Which was about March 15th, I think. But I pivoted and I put everybody online. And within a couple of weeks, we were like 182 online. And what we realized was that during the pandemic, especially in the beginning, the parents really wanted their kids to have a creative outlet, and they really wanted to make sure that they were having some sort of normalcy, even though it was on Zoom and it wasn't in person. So we rose to like hundreds and hundreds and hundreds. And then we had, I had 17 coaches, and then it sort of just grew from there. And then once we were able to go back in person, thank God, which was about over a year ago now. It was May of 2021. Yeah. And so we're back in person, following CDC guidelines, all of that kind of stuff. But that's where it grew from. And I even had other studios coming to me and saying, "Hey, can you help us?" And I'm like, yeah, sure. I'm not going to help you be my competition, but I'll tell you, this is kind of a generalization of how we got online and how we're servicing clients nationwide now.
Wow, that's crazy. But I think it shows how good of a person and how much dedication you really have to immediately go online like that, and the success that came after that. I say that you used COVID-19 to your benefit during that time, and I think that's an extremely smart decision you made. So congratulations on all of that. And to continue on that, just completely saying that, I'm sure there hasn't been an easy walk in the park for you. So can you share with me some of the obstacles you have encountered from start beginning, and what did you learn overcoming them?
Well, some of the obstacles were the technical things, we had, it's a very, it has to be a controlled environment. She's dealing with children, and some of the things that we realized early on were, we take attendance, we have screenshots, what kids are in class. We would notice like a kid that didn't pay, or we didn't even know, because the kids do have to audition to be a part of our organization. We don't take everybody. And so we would notice a kid and we're like, "Who is this kid?" And it was like a friend of a friend. And so then we had to like make sure your kids, you're not sharing Zoom codes, all that kind of stuff. That was number one. Number two was, which I find actually kind of funny, and it's bad, so please don't do this, but we would take attendance we would look and someone signed up, let's say her name's Jan, she would sign up. And within the first week, we didn't see she wasn't in attendance. We weren't seeing her on there, so we would reach out to mom or dad. And mom said, this was a real person, but Jan's not her name. But mom was like, what are you talking about? She's up there every night on her tablet and we're like, no, she's not. So some of the kids were lying to their parents, but the parents are spending money on this. And so we felt bad. So we had to make sure that we were really controlling it and really staying on top of it. And now we have the kids that are really just so invested in it and making sure that they're doing what they need to do and doing well, because it's not just about getting online and training with us, which is the core of it, but it's training with us. And then we market them to agencies, casting directors, and managers. And that's the bigger success or the bigger portion of where our success comes from. And so that's not a joke, that's like real. You have to make sure that you're prepared, you're memorized, you've learned your stuff, you're listening to your coaches, you're really ready to go and be in front of those people, whether it's online or in person. And so we take pride in that. And I mean, even with our nationals event that we just had in Hollywood, we had 131 kids from all over the nation, some from Canada. And they, the first 2 days they're doing boot camps and trainings. And we said to our coaches, tell us, anybody that is not prepared, we need to have conversations with us. It was maybe one or two. These kids really brought their A game, which is amazing. That means that it's in them and they really love it, But that was some of the challenge. To get back to your question, is the challenges were just sort of controlling it and making sure that it's a controlled environment and the kids are doing what they need to do. And the parents weren't using it as a babysitting mechanism.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow. That's, that story right there. It just threw me off. I can't believe
Oh yeah.
that happened. It's not something you hear every day. I'm going to go an acting class and then boom, finds out there was never no acting class for the child. But I'm glad that it came through with all those kids attending. The dedication that they show really does show that this is a craft that they want to perform. And I think as a fellow actor or a former actor and now, a talent manager and more, it kind of excites you to see that these kids really do enjoy these things. And speaking on that line, Society Performers Academy just completed its national spin competition a week ago. Can you share some important moments from that competition?
Oh man, it was so good because it was the first one back since COVID and since July 2019. And it was just, it just was magical. The kids' faces, they just lit up the entire time. And it was a lot of work, believe me. I mean, these kids were practicing and rehearsing and training and doing competitions. And it was a lot of work, but these kids really, really rose to the challenge and were amazing. And look, they're from all over the country and they were happy to come to Hollywood and they were, happy to be in front of, we had 29 agents, managers, and casting directors as the judges and looking at them. And now we're getting, which is some of my favorite moments, is a girl that we had pre-pandemic in person. And then she had done some stuff online with us and then kind of fell out of it. But we said, come to nationals. And she came to nationals and she got signed with DDO Artist Agency, which is one of the biggest kids agencies. And she just told me 2 days ago from nationals. And that's like the best feeling in the world, because that means that her dedication, we put her in front of it. We didn't get her that. We can't guarantee that. We can't guarantee that anybody's going to get representation. Can't guarantee anybody's going to get a job. If anybody out there guarantees you that, they're lying to you because they can't. I mean, you can go to 4 years of college and not guarantee you get an amazing job out of college. So there are no guarantees. But when this happened, I was like, Bianca, this is what you worked for. This is, you stuck through it through the pandemic and everything. And she was in tears. She's 17. She's really sweet. So those moments, those magical moments. So that's kind of, that's what happens out of Spin, out of the Nationals event. They're judged by 29 agents, managers, and casting directors. So they have the opportunity to say, these agents have to say, oh, I would love to work with so-and-so. I would love to meet with so-and-so after this and that. And it doesn't matter where they are anymore because of COVID. Again, you said it earlier, but I hate to say there's silver linings of COVID because I don't think there really is, but it is a benefit in this industry now that you can be anywhere. You can be in Florida, Jersey, in North Dakota or whatever, because a lot of things, auditions are self-taped or on Zoom or, from the comfort of your own home. So it's accessible. That's the good part about Society Performers Academy as well, as it's accessible from anywhere now.
Wow. Well, thank you so much, Joe. And you know what? That's that's a wonderful, it's a kind of like a big success story for you. I think those are the moments where you kind of like a moment of relief because you know you put so much hard work into what you do, and stories like that is what encourages someone to want to keep going, you know, and
Yeah,
that's great for her. I've heard of that agency. That's huge for her. She's going to get so many opportunities. She's going to be faced with them, and that's truly wonderful. And
yeah,
that
we're
spin
happy.
national competition, first one back, and for something like that to occur, it has to be a wonderful
And
moment
that's
for you.
just one
So
of many, and there'll be more. Believe me, the kids
yeah.
did amazing. There was sometimes at those events, there's some kids that don't get callbacks. At 131 kids, every single kid got at least 2 callbacks, which means they
Wow.
all brought their A game. So there were no tears
Wow.
callback day. Everybody was allowed to meet with the agents, which was awesome. So
It definitely says something about their work ethics. Just coming out of the following COVID-19 pandemic to
mhm.
doing this, at least 2 callbacks per person, 130. That's a lot. That's pretty huge. But overall, you have made so much success occur. And just thinking back to where you started, it truly is an inspirational story for many others who possibly want to take that road. So thank you so much for speaking with me, Joe Lorenzo, about Society Performers Academy and the Spin National Competition and all much more of your success. And I want to let the viewers know for more information, you can visit societyperformers.com. They do provide online and in person classes, and you guys have 3 locations: New Jersey, Montreal, and here. So, congratulations on that as well. And once again, I'm Nathalia Jackson from Kids First. Make sure to like and subscribe to our channel so you don't miss any of our next reviews and interviews. Thank you so much, Joe.
Thank you so much for having me. Bye, guys.
Thank you.